Hi everyone, good evening. If everyone can stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
Pledge
of the
allegiance
United
to the
States of
flag
America
of the United States of America,
and to the republic
to the
which it
republic for
stands,
which it stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Call to order.
Mr. Geller, do we need to swear anyone?
Call to order.
No.
and then take attendance, and then
Yeah.
we'll do that.
Attendance.
Call to order at
Call to order.
7:02 p.m.
7:02 p.m.
Board member Jed Franklin.
Present.
Board member Janet Adler. Present. Board member Wesley Keane. Absent. Board member Matt Bernard. Absent. Board member Alexander Feldman.
Here.
Vice Chair Alan Bebchik.
Here.
Chair Stephen Hurwitz. Absent. You have a quorum.
Awesome. Thank you. Mr. Geller.
Will everyone who's going to provide testimony tonight please stand? Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, and state your name. Do hereby solemnly swear that the testimony I will give tonight will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God, or you may take an affirmation. Thank you.
All right, let's get started. We have a packed agenda, so we'll try to go through all the items. First item, request for approval for exterior modification for 9881 EVH Ltd. located at 9881 East Bay Harbor Drive, lots 23, 24 of Block 4. The owner is proposing to install decorative panels over some existing windows. Please note some have been installed already. Enclosed, please find the elevation showing the existing and proposed style.
Good evening.
Can you say name and address for the record, please?
Thank you. My name is George Gutman. The property address is 9881 East Bay Harbor Drive.
Well, do you have a presentation or any materials?
I submitted, I didn't know I needed to bring one separately,
Okay.
but I did submit a full package.
Yep.
The air. Thank you very much. Want me to sit here instead? The property is an existing 5-story building that's in the process of getting completely remodeled. The front elevation only has a section facing north and facing west, only in that corner where there used to be cracked jalousie windows. We replaced them with decorative aluminum panels. Because the building was built in '63, we've been trying to keep everything to that era so the building looks original, and we created some decorative panels that we installed there already. We're hoping that we get approval with the panels that we submitted, and that's the purpose of why I'm here this evening.
Awesome. Any comments, questions?
What's behind the panels? Like what?
Nothing, it's just open air hallways.
Got it. So there's no window, it's open air?
No, sir, it's open air. All the catwalks went back to open air.
Got it.
Yeah, that was my question, exactly, because the agenda that we received said that you were proposing to install decorative panels over some existing windows, so that's not.
No, sir, that's incorrect. Where the jalousie windows were removed, originally we were proposing just doing a small railing on the knee wall, and then the developer decided last minute to do the decorative panels, and that's what we're trying to get approval on, sir.
Okay, so that leads to my second question. The area, I guess, inside of where the panels
Yes.
are, that is a hallway?
Yes,
Hallways?
all the units on floors 2, 3, 4, and 5 are apartments with an open catwalk hallway connecting all the units through. So if you look at the picture, where the white car is, those windows there to the right, that's the elevator shaft. And that's right where the white car is directly above, those are the panels we're talking about. Nowhere else in the building, just in that little corner.
Is
And
there
were these were done custom for this particular building?
Yes, sir, they were.
And I assume then that they're meeting all Dade County hurricane
100%,
requirements?
sir. Yes, sir.
Any comment, question?
No, they were answered.
Awesome. I think it looks good. It's definitely an improvement to what it looks like. Always better to follow the process to avoid any issues. Anyone questions, motions?
Do you? I would make a motion to approve it.
Okay. Any seconds? And with all of Michael Miller's conditions.
Yeah, Michael Miller's conditions are all there.
Any second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Have a nice evening, everybody. Thank you again.
I'm sorry, did you hear? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear. Was Michael Miller's conditions were incorporated? Just want to make sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
Did you accept the staff report into evidence?
Yeah, that's Michael's.
I just wanted to make sure. Thank you. I thought I heard. I just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
All right. Second item, request for approval of a pergola for Eric and Cynthia Stein located at 9901 East Broadview Drive, Lot 13 of Block 23. The owners are proposing to install a new pergola over a newly expanded wooden deck. The pergola will be made of aluminum with bronze finish. The roof has operational louvers to allow filtered sunlight and to provide protection from inclement weather. Enclosed, please find the elevations and pergola design.
Good evening. I'm Carolina Montero. I'm the landscape architect representing the owner, Eric Stein.
An address, name and address, please.
My address?
Or
Yeah,
what?
Carolina Montero, 8020 Northeast 4th Avenue, Miami.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So this is the existing survey before the pool was implemented. It's an existing single-family home, and we proposed a pool, a deck, and this pergola that we are here for today for the approval. So this is how the backyard looks like. All the brown hatches represent the proposed and approved wooden decks. Then we have the approved pool shown in blue. And the pergola is being proposed over the wood deck where the table is shown up here. And this is what we are seeking approval today for this pergola over this wood deck. It's a simple pergola, open on all four sides. As you mentioned, it has an operable louver that can be closed in case of rains. This is a 3D rendition of what we are proposing. Hi, Wes. As you can see, this is the existing home. Nothing has changed. The pool is new. The dock is new and built already. The wooden deck is under construction, and we are now trying to approve this pergola. As you can see, it's all open on all four sides. This is another view looking towards the neighbor. The pergola is 10 feet overall height, and below the beam is about 9 and 2 inches. This is a close-up view. As you can see, it's very see-through. It's not blocking anything from the neighbor's perspective. And it's also respecting 5 feet setback from both property lines. And this is just some images, some illustrations of the actual product that they purchased. And it has, it's a frame like that, it's all metal, and it has operable louvers. And it's very simple and open and minimalistic, nothing heavy or that is affecting use.
How do those louvers work? Are they manual or?
They're all electric. Like,
Electric.
It's a really beautiful product. It's from Belgium. It has it's UL listed. It has full approvals for NOAs approvals. It was engineered, reviewed by the town. So everything should be good for this.
Could you just confirm, my understanding is this will not be visible from the street whatsoever based upon the height?
Exactly, no, not
And
visible.
what
So
type-
as you can see, the house, this is what you see from the canal. So it's completely blocked from the street.
And what type of landscaping is there between that, the pergola and the adjoining?
It's an existing clusia hedge, and it has some palms that you can see here. This is existing. We are just helping them with the pergola and the pool, the new pool. They're not really touching the landscape. We're keeping the clusia hedges and the palms. We're doing a little bit here and here just to hide the front of the wood deck.
And let me just commend you on your submission, because it really made understanding this project very easy. You know, a lot of times people come up and they don't provide, you know, even the bare bones. And you guys really did a nice job, and I think what went over and above, and it makes our job a lot easier.
Yeah.
Right, that was the intent. So I know it's a small project, it's, you know, but it's, when you don't see it like that in 3D, sometimes it's harder to understand. But I think this view too, you can see really well.
Yeah, I agree. I think it looks really nice and very helpful to have the renderings.
Good, thank you.
Can I make a motion for approval? So,
Who has the second?
With Michael Miller's.
with Michael Miller's recommendations in the staff
Did you
report.
accept the staff recommendation?
Yes.
Any second?
Second.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, moving along. Third item, request for approval of a revision for Patrick and Michelle Malloy, located at 10161 East Broadview Drive, Lot 24 of Block 23. On August 3rd, 2021, the board approved the site plan of a new single-family home. The owners have submitted a request for revision. During the CO inspection, several unauthorized changes were identified, corrected, or allowed. However, the owners decided to seek approval from the board for a few modifications. Enclosed, please find approved and proposed changes.
Good evening, Jerome Gafkovich, 1251 97th Street, Bay Harbor.
Welcome back. We miss you here on this table.
Thank you. Here, this is a house that it's now completed. We got approval a few years ago for the new home. There were a couple changes that the clients wanted to make, one of which is the deletion of the vertical screens at the center of the home at the front and the glass wall. That you can see here in the rendering. Let me go down. You can see the comparative. The one on the bottom, the image on the bottom was approved, previously approved. The one on the top, you can see that screen or the vertical slats removed. The other change was on this front facade is the balcony on the right side. Also, those vertical slats were removed to basically expose the glass rail behind. The other change was, page up. Again, sorry, going the wrong way. Page up, page down. The other change, again, similarly on the side or north elevation facade, the slats that you can see on the bottom towards the rear of the house on the left, that was part of the master balcony terrace were removed, and again, exposing the glass rail behind. So those are the real changes. There was one other change that you actually don't see it because we didn't have it on the approved drawings, at least in the elevations, but the door on the ground floor from the garage had an eyebrow, and that was deleted as well. So those are the real, I think those are the main change, the only real changes that were made. So we're requesting a modification to the previous approval.
And roof shower,
The roof shower was deleted, yeah.
kept it.
It was deleted. The shower that was behind that screen was deleted.
So most of the changes were reductive in nature, I would
Yes.
say. I wonder, you had to come back here because it's, I mean, I wouldn't consider this significant change architecturally. Is there some threshold with the city where if things are reductive in nature, you don't have to come to us? Or is it any, like, what's the threshold in terms of changes? I I don't want to harp on it because I guess if that picket was something aesthetic, I mean, I always actually prefer what you did now. I think my comments were against the picket originally. I didn't want to hold up approval because of it, but I'm happy to see this. But I wonder, like, what is that threshold? How do you determine that threshold?
Good evening, Mike Miller, town planner. We've had this code section in the site plan area for many years. It was recently even tightened up a little bit. It's pretty common when, you see preliminary plans here, the architects develop the actual construction plans, and then as they build, sometimes the customers want some fine tuning as well.
Right.
It is a little bit of a gray area. We have to make a judgment on a case-to-case basis what we think is significant. So oftentimes, it falls on the planner usually. So we go back and we listen to your meeting tapes and look at the minutes and try to determine what, if you spend some time talking about the slats, for example, we know that was important. So we kind of like focus on those kind of things.
Okay.
And in this case, I got called out to do the zoning inspection in the field, and I walk around and measure and take pictures and things, and I said, I have the plans, and that's different than
Right.
what the board approves, so I don't want to, approve something, and we thought the front facade thing was a little more significant. The little eyebrow you can live with,
Right.
that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's a little touchy.
So it's more administrative.
Yeah.
And it didn't slow you down out there? I mean, were you able to keep going? And
Yeah, I mean, the house
Okay.
is done.
oh, it's done. Wow. Okay. All right. Yeah, I have no objections.
And Michael, I think your report, in fact, to amplify what Wesley was saying, was that there were some other unauthorized changes that were allowed administratively. So,
Right.
I guess you've got a scale. Minor ones you deal with in that fashion, and the more significant ones need to come back here.
Right. The process that the town has had for many years is, I'll call it like an unofficial committee, if you will, but it's usually somebody from the manager's office, the building official, and the planner. When we identify something, we talk about it and say, we can live with this, or this one is a little more serious type of thing.
Okay.
And I guess in this case, this is the front facade, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, my only feedback for the future, when the building is already complete, to have pictures instead of the render, so we can actually see what
Sure.
it
Good
is.
idea.
Sure.
Anyone want to make a
I'd
motion?
like to change
Let
this.
me just if I can make one comment, and Wesley, I'm going to disagree with you on this. I think the way that we approved it is a lot nicer than the way it is now, and especially with these modern houses popping up everywhere, I think that details like that are very important, and I'm much in favor of the way that we passed it previously.
Alex?
I think it's a little, my opinion is I like the changes that you made, and I think either way, from what it seems like, the essence of the home still seems very similar, so from my perspective, I think I approve.
I've already voted.
Any motions?
Is there comments? I'll make a motion to approve this with Michael Miller's conditions, a report, and
Second.
I'm sorry, I didn't get Michael's staff report, so what are the conditions? Are there anything that,
I think it was the standard stuff.
I think he said everything should be inverted, but other than that, it was
Start over.
we'll flip the house. I'm fine.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Opposed.
One opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, item number 4, request for approval of a roof material for Alan Mendelssohn located at 10061 East Broadview Drive, lots 2021 of Block 23. The owner is proposing to replace his existing S-barrel concrete tile with a standing seam metal roof, medium bronze color under existing single-family home. Enclosed, please find a letter from the contractor, pictures, and a sample of the roof. Name and
Thank you.
address.
Good evening. My name is Solomon Susi. I'm the owner of Solomon Roofing. I'll be the roofing company installing the roof. So, if I may, after a lot of consideration with the owners, they originally had they have a clay barrel tile roof on the roof. And we went over all the pros and the cons of clay tile, concrete tile, and we compared it to the metal roofs. I have a sample if you guys want to see it. The owners decided that they liked all the traits of the metal roof a lot more than the tile roofs. One of the major factors was that the metal roofs are much more durable. They have a lot less maintenance. The owners have constantly been battling with broken tiles, having to clean the roofs, replacing the tiles. It's been an insurance nightmare, and they can avoid all that by putting on the metal standing seam roofs. Aesthetically, I believe that it goes better with the home. The home is not a Spanish-style home. It doesn't have Corinthian columns. It doesn't have any kind of concrete decorative baluses or anything around the windows. It's more of a contemporary style roof home, and the metal roofs go really well with that. So that's the reason why we're here. I did bring some other pictures. Unfortunately, I didn't have the CAD experience that you've seen from the other presenters. But I did bring some other pictures. If you'd like to see them, I can hand them out so that you can take a look. Go ahead and do that.
And the installed roof will look like this brochure.
It's going to be more like these here.
No, it's been flattered.
Is it that bronze color you have there?
It is. It is. It's this. This is the actual sample of the panel. It's an aluminum panel. It's in a medium bronze color. This manufacturer gives us what's called an Ocean Guard warranty, which is a salt spray warranty that has a Kynar baked on finish, and it's a 35-year warranty on the actual paint.
And the gutter system is in that same color? And
Yes,
how does
gutters,
it-
yeah, gutters would be the same.
And metal and aluminum?
Mhm, aluminum.
I wouldn't make this a condition, but just as you're installing, make sure the gauge is the right gauge to avoid
Yeah.
oil canning and that sort of thing.
Sure. One of the things to avoid the oil canning is this panel has striations in it.
Give it rigidity.
It not only makes it more rigid, but you don't actually see the waviness.
Okay.
When you have it.
I have a question. One of the reasons this comes here is because this material is not in the language of the pre-approved materials in the town. Why do you think this material is better or should maybe make that list of approved
Well,
versus?
it's more durable. It's stronger. I mean, again, the concrete tiles and the clay tiles continuously break. Once that breaks, the underlayment is that's what waterproofs the home. That starts to give, and then you get leaks. So, a standing seam roof could last 30 years, where a tile roof, right now insurances make you change them after 15 years.
Does the city, this might be a question for Michael, does the city have specific colors that the tiles need to be or anything like that? Or this is mainly due to the system?
Good question. The community had, in 2008, adopted a color palette for the community. So we don't get purple and, some maybe objectionable colors to some. So the earth tones are generally the framework for the main body of the house and the roof. And then we do allow some accent colors on occasion, yeah.
So this would be like considered?
Bronze would be certainly earth tone, yes.
Perfect.
And again, just to expand a little bit, the code has been written this way for a long time. So you spend a lot of time looking at homes and, determining whether the roof goes with the house and so forth. So the code was written specifically to say that, I guess in the original times, every sloped roofs were common. Flat roofs are kind of the newer thing. And that they wanted the concrete tile because the metal probably wasn't advanced, back,
Right.
when this was done. So that's,
It's also, it reflects more, radiates heat differently, and, so from that perspective, it's more environmental. I prefer this. I don't have any objection to it. I think, especially because it's an existing owner trying to get a new roof, and they're doing something, to add longevity and durability. So I think the color actually works with the overall aesthetic of the home, so I don't have any objections to this.
I did want to mention, I think I put in my staff report, we thought there was about 10 homes that maybe had them. I actually went out and drove up and down every street, and there's probably about 20 that
Yeah.
the town has approved over the years.
This material.
A standing metal seam roof. I don't know about that particular
But
product.
I'm wondering what the experience is with the wind factor with this.
So the metal roofs, the beauty of the metal roofs, this is a hidden screw system, so you won't see the screws. And what holds it down are clips. And the clips are spaced, it's been tested with the NOAs at certain distances. So for us, whenever we need better uplift pressures, we put the clips closer. And again, that's engineered. And this material here, Michael, I'm sorry you said that you didn't know what materials the other roofs are, but I'd be hard pressed to say that they are aluminum like this, because galvanized will corrode very quickly. So at a minimum, you have to have an aluminum roof when you're so close to the water.
Yeah, I was speaking more to the manufacturer versus.
Michael, as I understand it, the only reason that this applicant is before us is because it's a metal roof. If it was just changing the roof and the color was the same, it wouldn't be here.
Well, yeah, two things. One, the code section, and secondly, again, with the architects design a certain house with a certain architectural appeal, you review it. This is an older house, but newer houses, the roof goes as part of the house plan, and the condition on the approvals that you see every time says we're approving the plans prepared by John Smith, dated this date. So when somebody comes in and they, even years later, we can look back and see that, okay, it had a concrete roof and now they want a metal roof. So, I found a note in my files maybe about 15 years ago. The town actually started to receive some of these for the first time, the real metal roofs, and the council debated whether they wanted to change the ordinance, and they said, we'll leave it the way it is and let them come in on a case-by-case basis.
They should probably reconsider.
So, and you mentioned this in your staff report, and I'm mentioning this because I think there may be a bigger issue here than relates to this applicant, that there were roofs that were installed, metal roofs that did not come before this board for approval. How was that done?
Good question. I'll try to be as diplomatic as I can. There are certain professionals that understand building codes, the Florida building code. The land development regulations that local governments have, zoning, aesthetic codes, landscaping, all the things that normally a planner, in this community is small, it was built out, so there was really no planner here. So it's not uncommon, and I work for lots of small cities, that the building department, staff is just not familiar, and they don't have somebody who knows the local regulations. So we found that there were some permits that were issued by former building officials thinking, okay, it's fine, it's a roofing material, and they probably didn't even know this code section existed, because somebody comes into the building department here, that's kind of how that occurs.
So has that been standardized now that all
Since I've
metal
been here,
roof applicants will
Yeah.
come before? To me, I just think it needs to be consistent. Either it comes before, everybody comes before us, or if it's going to be handled administratively, so be it, let it be done.
It's not
that
on
fashion.
the roof, it's because this material is not listed as approved material that is coming to us. But if this is in the list of approved materials, then it can be an administrative approval.
Right, again, I just think it should be handled consistently.
Agree,
either-
agree.
Either administratively or before us,
Right.
but we shouldn't be,
And there's, things happen, you know, sometimes people do things, you know, innocently replace a roof, and then you or the council sees and they say, you know, I don't like that, let's change the rule, let's create rules for it to have a concrete roof. So there may be situations where there's a pre-existing condition, then you write a rule. So coming forward from that, then there's a common application.
Any other questions, comments, motion?
I'll make a motion to approve that one.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You can take it.
Next agenda item, request for approval for exterior modification for a multifamily building, Bay Harbor 1080 Partners LLC, located at 1060 95th Street, Lot 7 of Block 13. The owners have submitted an application to allow for exterior building landscaping renovations deemed substantial for an existing 9-unit, 2-story garden apartment type complex. Enclosed, please find the elevation and site plan. Do we have the applicant on number 5? 1080 Partners. Going once? Going twice? No?
So do we make a motion for continuance then?
It's up to you.
It's either that or denial. I guess I'll move to continue.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Next item, item number 6, request for approval for an addition to a single-family home for Julio Lujan located at 10250 West Broadview Drive, Lot 38 of Block 23. The owner is proposing to construct a second-story addition to an existing 1-story waterfront single-family residence. Enclosed, please find the site plan and elevation, item 6.
Good night. So, my name is Julio Lujan, so I am the owner of the property on 10250 West Broadway Drive, and I'm requesting to approve for an addition to my actual house.
And for the record, you have the best Halloween house decoration
Thank you
in the
very much.
neighborhood.
Thank you very much. We try to keep in every single year. Yeah. Thank you.
We enjoy that a lot with my kids. How you doing there?
No, I haven't.
What's there right now? Is it just a single story and you're adding a second story, or is it a driveway?
It's a grass. It's just
Oh, it's
grass.
grass, okay.
Yeah, grass. Yeah, on the area. So we are building a garage on the down floor to use it for the Halloween house for every single year. So the people will be able to come by the front and get back from the other part.
Can you walk us through the changes or what
Yeah, I'm adding a 2-story building that is going to have a garage on the main floor, and then a first floor with 2 bedrooms.
What's going to be the material of like the slats, like the vertical?
The one that you see on the windows, it's going to be wood. Yes, yes, wood piles.
Got it.
You are talking about you are asking for the one that are outside, right? The windows.
Yeah, the ones outside,
Yeah.
the decorated.
This feels a little bit like a permit submission more than a DRB submission. Okay, so it came in for permit and then, because I mean, I'm probably one of the few people on this table that can actually read these as an architect. They're very technical, which is good, but I think what my colleagues might need is, you know, a rendering and the typical things that we submit here.
Yeah, well, I submit everything because I wasn't sure what do you need. So I submit the renderings and everything, and also all the plumbing, electrics, and foundation.
Yeah, I think
Do you have renderings with color? Or the only ones you have with
Yes,
black?
yeah, they are on the.
We
Yeah,
got
so
it printed black and white.
okay. Yeah, I have it on color on the.
Do you have it on your phone that you can show or something?
Not really, but I have on my computer.
Okay, yeah.
or here, can we put it on the TV?
Maybe.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So how do I pass the page? Okay.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Okay, one second. Okay.
There you go. So can you zoom in?
Yeah. Okay. One second.
Thank you.
Okay, that's one. And the other one is.
So a permit hasn't been issued yet, right, for this?
No, I don't think so.
What are those dowel things? I know they're Benjamin Moore color, but what material are they?
Which one?
The vertical?
Vertical are made of wood. They're wood. But
Oh, they are wood. And they're round? I think they're shown round in plan.
The one? Which one?
The vertical.
The
vertical
verticals
thing.
are no. They are not round. They are not rounded. They are straight. So I'm trying to find.
Well, even in the elevation, it's really hard to see how it ties with the existing house architecture. Do you have anything showing how this ties to the existing home?
Yeah. Let me see what we have over here. Yeah, I think it's everything should be here. Yes. No, one second. This is too fast. Okay. It's not in color, but you can see here how it looks with the other house on the side. This is one elevation, the 4 elevations that you can see over here.
So the bottom window, actually the bottom is the garage that we're looking at.
The one on the top left is the garage.
That, and then the new piece that you want to put on the top is going to look exactly like the garage, if you're doing the same facing.
Yeah, it's looking like the garage. The garage is right now is just on the. Can you see the hand when I place it? Yes. Okay, that's the garage. That's what. Can you see the hand?
I can see,
Okay, the garage is over here right now.
that's the garage.
That's the garage. That's the actual garage, and the new garage is gonna be over here.
And the new garage is going to be over there.
Yes.
So you're putting in a new garage and then a second floor, small second.
No, in the first floor. The second floor is gonna be a bedroom.
It's going to be a what?
Bedroom, sorry.
A bedroom.
Yes.
But you're using the same design
Yes.
for both.
Yes.
So it's going to look like that.
Yes. That's the one on the top is the front of the house. Yeah, let me see if I can get one more.
And how did it? Is
Yeah.
there any rationale behind how you guys decided to space the slats on the second floor?
Yeah, it's more just to have a way to have a little bit of privacy, but it's not really.
No, but Yeah, it just seems like the right part has like a hole, and it just doesn't seem like there's that much consistency on how.
No, because
Faces
they're
are.
movable, so you
Oh,
can
they're movable.
they're movable.
Oh,
So
okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Got it.
What, the vertical things?
Yeah, okay.
Why do you need
Hmm. Yeah, I think it's, unfortunately, you kind of went backwards a little bit with the permit package, and now we're trying to review the permit drawings for approval of DRB. Normally, and it's always good to, before you start an endeavor like this, to go and meet with town manager and the folks down at City Hall, because they can guide you on the right process. But I think it's very difficult to review and provide an approval on an application submitted in this format. Normally, and I think you were here for some of the earlier ones, even the one that submitted only a pool. You saw there were several renderings, 3D views. That way because our purview is not so much if you're meeting building code or even zoning code. That is assumed that you comply before you get here. But what we look at is the aesthetics, how it ties into your existing house, and then how that ties into the context of the neighborhood. And with this application, it's difficult for us to do that. It may be that it does, but we can't see it with enough evidence presented to us where we could, I don't want to
Maybe-
speak for everybody, but at least myself,
Maybe
provide
it's,
an approval.
maybe it's because there are many pages. You are right about that, but I write everything that they need to be on the permit, and I also add, maybe I add too much because I add also all of the plumbing and the electrical and conditioning and everything. But it's everything that is asking for the.
Yeah, my recommendation, I am on board with Wes, but also if you come here next time, try to bring the architect that designed the house, because they're the one that can speak more on the architectural elements, how the new house connects with the old house, materials. This is something that it's very hard to understand from the render, and even some questions we're not really getting the answers we need to approve something like this. So it doesn't mean it won't get approved. This is not a package. I think we have enough to be able to approve it today.
You have to be clear what you need, because I was talking also with Michael Miller about it to see what I need, and I went with him for approval for 4 or 5 times, I believe, right? So until we got a package that it was really meeting all of the conditions for the city. So that's what I came here. It's not.
Well, let me.
Waste my time to come here.
That's fair. Let me give maybe some feedback on, because I like I said, I can see it. I probably wouldn't approve it. My questions, and I don't know if there's something you can answer, or maybe it's for your architect, but right now it looks like a 2-story addition that was located to minimize disruption to the existing home, right? So in other words, you can almost build this addition in its entirety and then make a connection, and you could live in this house, which I think is the right approach. Maybe you want to live in the house while the construction is going on, that sort of thing.
Yes.
But I don't think the end result can look like that, right? Like, I think the end result should look like one coherent, cohesive home. So I would have questions to your architect to try to prove to me or walk me through the idea on how this is a home that is designed maybe for that goal, where it's isolated and it could be built without disruption to the house, but still look like it fits into the house. And right now, even looking at the technical information, it looks very much like an addition.
You can ask me any question, so I'm here to answer any question I can. So
Okay.
Yeah, you don't need
That's
to
my
bring
question, I guess.
I bring to an architect. I can answer any question, so you can ask me, and I will try.
Okay, please.
So on the first floors, we
Yes.
are adding the house. Right now there are 3 large windows.
Mhm.
That are very close. They are big together with the big door, with the front door. So you can see that. Let's see. And this computer is a little bit difficult to control because it's going very fast, But
Right.
we'll try to pass the. Okay, you maybe on this one. Yes, on this one. No, that's
Like, for instance, here, we're not even seeing what the plan of the existing house looks like and how it
okay. So
fits into the existing house.
I also have the existing house plans on my computer, so I can show it to you, the existing plans.
Yeah, I mean, we usually get these packets in advance of the meeting, then we sit with them, we get time to review them.
Okay, so on this one, on this floor, the house is connected through, there are 3 windows on where you see the passage over here.
Mhm.
There are 3 windows right now in the house. So we're gonna, the design is to open these 3 passages. That is communicate this part of the house is right now the living room. All of this is the living room. So when you enter from the front door right now, it's gonna get the passage over here, and then that communicate with the garage. So right now, our garage, unfortunately, is not communicated with the house, and that's one of the things that we want. So from that,
Because the existing garage is where? In that plan?
right now, the existing garage is this one.
And are you modifying that? Is that getting narrower? Or that's, because it
No,
does,
it's that's how it is.
can you fit a car in there?
Really bad. That's why
Really
I'm trying to, yeah, it's very old, and the door is very also very small, so it's very difficult to fit a car over there. Yes, if the car is small, yes, but if this car is a little bit like they are right now, difficult. So the house, the garage is not connected to the house. Is you can see these 3 steps over here. So the garage start right here, and it's all this area.
So what will that become now?
Right now, or
No, in in the
future?
proposed.
In the
yeah.
future, we're not gonna touch it. We're gonna leave it like it is.
So it'll be a garage?
And no, it's not. Maybe we will use it as we are using it right now.
Storage?
The storage, yeah, because we cannot fit. And okay, I have my motorcycle there. That's the only thing that it is. But
And where does the car enter that garage currently?
currently the car entrance is over here, on this side. Over here there are buses that cover the patch that is going to be in it. So my plan is to close where right now where the enter is, and open this one instead of going this way, coming from this way.
So what goes where the garage door used to be on the existing design?
Sorry, one more time.
What are you proposing where the existing garage is today? What does that become in the future in this plan?
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is we're gonna place some plants up front, and we're gonna leave in closet. We're not doing anything. We maybe maybe in the future we can place just a window where the door is right now.
You're taking off the existing pavers?
No, the existing pavers are going to be removed on this area, because the area is going to become,
Or taking them off?
this area is going to become grass.
So it's very difficult to conceptualize what this is going to actually look like. You live in it, you're working in it, you know what it's going to look like, and all of those figures are very clear. But I can't conceptualize what this house is going to actually look like when it's finished. I would like to see something that will tell me this
Yeah,
is what it will look
there
like.
is a
This is what the rooms look like.
yeah, but this is how it's gonna be looking when we finish. I'm gonna find it.
With that render, we only see the new proposed structure, and we don't see how that ties. Even the roof, you have a pitch roof and a flat
Well,
roof. What are the materials? How
The materials are over there too.
This is the
In all the document you have are the materials.
Right, but sir, just to clarify,
Also the renders are the renders asking by the city. So we did what you had on the code to be able to present the project.
just to be direct and helpful to you,
Yeah, sure.
you're probably not going to get approval today. So what I would say to help you understand is like, this is great. This is really helpful for that table. But for this table, it's in your interest to help us visualize what you're trying to do and how beautiful and how it doesn't feel like just, an addition that's isolated from the home. Like you need to sell that to us to get our approval so that you can then submit this to them for their approval. So that's procedural. More specific to help you with feedback, have you considered, right now the two-story addition is rectangular. And what happens is it creates two narrow conditions. One, this narrow kind of aisleway into the entry, but then also this very narrow courtyard condition. If you considered rotating that 90 degrees, then what could potentially happen is you could actually create a more active courtyard in between the two structures, and you could even use that potentially as your entry point or not. But I think it would be a more usable courtyard, one, and a better entry experience, but also a better use of the layout of the home if you were to consider rotating that. I don't know if you thought about that when you were planning this.
Rotating, I don't understand what you mean, rotating what?
So basically this rectangle right here, if it were rotated in this direction, say you don't want to touch this, fine, but I'm pretty sure it could fit here, and then all of a sudden this courtyard becomes more usable for the house and more private.
But that is another, you are talking about a different project that I am trying to do.
That's why that's why you always want to come to us first before you engage all the professionals, because you could get in the scenario where you don't get approval here, but you've already paid and invested in the professional fees. Not saying that you can't get approval with this, that when you come back and you have more images that you could sell to us or help us kind of understand how it fits in better, maybe you're doing that already. But right now, I don't think you're going to get approval tonight with this. But what I'm suggesting is to maybe help you get approval next round. These are the things that I would ask you to consider.
Okay, but
if it came back.
Okay, I understand you are not going to approve this, but I follow all the rules that this is.
Everyone that comes here follow all the rules.
So okay, I understand, but you asked me for 2 renders, I've been to renders. You asked me for 5 renders, I bring you 5 renders. You render for 20 renders, I bring you 20 renders. So you need to be clear on what do we need to bring to you before we came, because yes, I hired someone else to do that.
Yeah.
I follow all the rules, and I will in touch with Michael Miller during 5. He didn't approve the first time. I am taking probably 6-7 months with him, or even more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Until everything was perfectly submitted as should be. And now you are telling me, okay, this is not right. You have to do it in a different way. Okay, it should be something right to be able to follow those guidance, right?
Have you talked to your architect for guidance on how to?
Sorry?
Have you spoken with your architect for guidance how to prepare?
Of course, yes, yeah.
Because they are the ones that should be hand-holding you.
I've been working with my architect. I've been working with Michael Miller with all this time to make sure that we were coming with it was something that is gonna has the chance to be approved. It's really easy. It's not I'm not coming, No, I'm not gonna waste your time and mine.
Yeah, I mean, it could be 2 renders, it could be 20 renders. I think what's more important than the quantity of renderings is helping us see what the idea is, 1, how it fits into the existing home and not look like a separate addition, and 3, how that fits into the community. That's really what we're looking for. Now, there's many ways to illustrate that or narrate that. 1 could be a physical model. 1 could be multiple renderings. 1 could be a video. 1 could be a hand sketch, but it has to be something that, because I think I'm the only architect on this panel, right? So we're members of this community. We're not all architects. So I think as members of the community, we need you to, or your architect more so, to help us understand what you're proposing here.
I'm here to answer any question you may ask, and I don't think that I need to bring my architect to answer any question, because he did everything I asked him to do, and then we placed everything on code. So that's what we did, and we did what you are asking that we need to be submitted. So,
it might be helpful.
we did everything as it should be. Right now you tell me, okay, I don't understand and I cannot see it.
I have an idea for you that might be helpful.
Before you give me your idea, that should be something that you need to write, and you need to be in according with probably with Michael Miller, because he's the one who reviewed this before we came here.
Right.
Otherwise, I can hear and then you tell me no, I cannot see on this. For me, it's very clear, and maybe for you, no, or for any others are not. But it has to be something that said, okay, I need to make sure that it's gonna be passing or it's gonna be okay. You need to bring this kind of everything, and then you place that on the code rules, and I will bring it with me. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Miller's been working with this town for many years, and
So that's why I follow everything that he was saying.
I'm not sure of the full story, but I'm sure that those months were him trying to help you do what I'm saying, which is bring something to this board that we as non-architects can see and understand how it fits into the existing house and how it fits into the community. Because our role is really aesthetic. We vote on things aesthetic. And yes, there are notes on the materials and there are sections and plans about the materials, but for the non-architects on this board, that's hard for them to see. So it's in your interest to bring more illustrative things that can really make your case in terms of, and what I was going to suggest in terms of the idea.
You need to be clear. You need to
Understood.
be clear of what you really are, and then this has to be writing in some place
Yeah.
to follow how clear it is. Because for me it's difficult. For you could be you cannot see it, and for other people could be a different thing. But has to be writing, because I follow everything writing, and I follow also with him. So he told me, okay, it's ready, the package is ready, so you can come in to present. So I come here for that. So you tell me, okay, I'm not seeing. Okay, that's fine. I may bring too many plans. I bring also all the plans that you may don't need it. I thought that you need it. That's why I bring it everything.
Right.
I understand right now you don't need it, you don't want it. Okay.
I
And maybe
recommend
that's the problem. And maybe that's the problem. You are seeing too many pages, and then you think that is complicated, and I understand that. But you have to. I present everything that needs to be presented. So, for example, you asking me for the lanyard, what the plans are going to place. Everything is over there on the first 4 pages. That has been, it takes us 3-4 months to make sure that we are with the code and it's going to look good. So. But now,
What I was going to suggest, sir, was there are other applications tonight. You could stay and see what others present, or each one of these hearings is recorded every time we meet. I recommend looking at one of those so you can see how others.
I understand. So there is no guidance to do this. So I have to think myself how I want to present it, and then you will say what
No,
is you are saying there is no guidance. No guidance
there-
because I follow all the guidance, and you said no, that's not enough. So it has to be different.
We're giving you the feedback tonight. This is not going to get approved. You have 5 different people. So you can take the feedback or not. Everything is written. It doesn't mean you have to stop at the minimum. The more you can add, the more renders, the more visualization is going to help. There's also, if you look at some other packages, there's always one section that shows all the houses that are neighboring houses, how they look versus your house.
I'm very happy to bring you everything, but that has to be in a written document to be able to do it before. So I'm not wasting my time to come in here. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, but
So that has to be writing some way. So it's in writing and coming with everything.
it's possible if you meet with Mike Miller that he can give you somebody's approved proposal, and you can look at it, just as he said, and see what it is that we are requesting. It's very, very simple. It's your package is good, but not for conceptualizing the neighborhood, the other houses, and what your house will look like.
Okay.
If I may add, I think the main thing that you're missing is just adding more renderings from different perspectives, because I think the renderings that you have only give really one perspective and one viewpoint, and that's what's not allowing us to really fully understand the project, because we're only seeing it from like one angle, and normally we see it from different angles, so we can really understand the change.
And all the pictures and drawings of the existing house, they are either grayed out or we cannot actually see what the existing house looks like today in any of these pictures, renders, elevations. So I think that's going to help us, definitely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion here.
You should have some motion.
Is that going to be deferred? Yeah.
Okay. I'll move to defer the application.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All right. Item number 7, request for approval for exterior modification to a single-family home for CSC FL LLC located at 1310 101 Street, Lot 9 of Block 26. On November 7, 2023, the board deferred the project. The owner has submitted revision as requested by the board and close please find the narrative, site plan, and elevation. Welcome back.
These are the lights.
Thank you, guys. This is what you guys have actually in the plans, but just maybe a little bit more clear, just so you guys can follow
Thanks.
along. It's on the first page, but a little bit better.
Did he leave?
Sure.
Would have been helpful for him to stay.
What was that?
No, he left. It would have been helpful for him to stay.
Yeah. Okay, guys, I appreciate everything. It's been a journey. So, I didn't expect to give the presentation last time. Do I have to mention my name, by the way? Or,
Yes, please, for the
Name and
record.
address.
Okay, Sam Zerkiev, SZFL LLC, is the owner of the property. I'm the member of the LLC, 1310 101 Street, Bay Harbor Island. And this we have over here, my engineer, Michael Spicen, with me. So to start the presentation, I didn't expect to give a presentation last time, and I was very much caught off guard. I'm sure you guys remember this. I didn't know that anybody was going to give any kind of presentation at the time because I thought that you guys read from the paper and you guys just make a decision off of what you see. But I know that you guys said that you deferred this, which I appreciate, instead of letting it go. So to refresh your memories from last time, just a little bit, we had, I was saying at the last DRB hearing, this project was approved by the building department originally. It should have originally went to the design review board, but for whatever, for approval, but it got approved by the building department originally. It slipped through the cracks somehow, for whatever reason, my fault or theirs, it doesn't matter. At this point, we're just moving forward right now instead of looking back. And you mentioned going for an appeal last time due to the situation, which I didn't think was something that we wanted to do. First of all, because we want the people on the board to be happy with the design as well as the neighbors. I went through all the recordings to make sure we address all your concerns from the previous DRB hearing, the one that we had in November. I spoke to Michael Miller about what he thought might work here as well, even though he clearly said it's not his decision to make any decisions here, but he thought maybe he can give me a little bit of guidance. Last time, Mr. Stephen Hurwitz was not here today. He asked if I have a designer on the project, and I said that I didn't kind of answer the question because I was kind of caught off guard, and I didn't expect to give any presentations, like I said. But we do have 2 designers on this project, and the people who created the rendering before was actually the designers that we had on the project. Just to briefly explain, I'm not going to go into too much, but we have a guy named Basil Saraholi. He's an architect, designer, and a renderer for over 7 years. He's done over 400 projects in the country as well as in the world. We have Mendy Gazinski, who is a designer for over a decade. He was working for a big firm called Anecdote, and then 6 years later he went on his own because he was being very successful in what he was doing, and he has a big following on different social platforms due to all of his designs. And Basil was the one that created the conceptual design. Mendy, the second guy, was the one that perfected it.
How many followers does he? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I like that. Just to get into the actual meat and bones over here, you were all okay with the structure last time in the first round, which I appreciate because the structure is already built. You voiced the concern of having a purpose for the awning and creating something that's aesthetically pleasing. Some said that they wanted shade. Some said you wanted it to provide some rain protection. A couple of you mentioned the portico or a trellis. However, I spoke to Michael Miller, and he said that the city is trying to stop those altogether, so we scratched that idea. We actually looked into it with my designers, and it didn't really fit into the plan too much. So together with the fact that you guys are trying to get it out of the system to begin with, we thought it wasn't something that we should be presenting. So we heard your concerns, and we put polycarbonate on the front middle section, which gives the benefit of still providing light into the house because it's see-through, it's clear, and it also provides a 7.5-foot wide covered entry, which is actually a comment that we really appreciate because a covered entry is actually very important in my opinion. And you also asked for some shading, so we created, which is something that I'm giving you kind of more of an option to do, whether you want to do it or not. I'm thinking that maybe just the polycarbonate might be enough together with what I'm going to get to next, which is the lighting. But with the sides, I'm not sure if you guys see it in the plans, but on the sides we put some aluminum, which is modern, and the color ties into the windows and the doors that we have there currently. They use a CNC machine to cut out the holes in a precise, escalated, and gradual design. And it comes out to be a very nice aesthetic design. I'm not sure if that's something that we need to do, but I'm giving you guys the option to see if you guys want to do that. With the lighting, we had the LED strips there, and you guys all said that you guys didn't like the LED strips around every window and every molding, and you guys was one of the main concerns that I heard that day. So we removed all of that. We don't have any more LED strip lighting on any of the facade. So as directed by your comments, we put in-ground lighting. It's in-ground uplighting along the facade, as well as some spotlights in the awning portion, which are shown on the rendering. And last time, Mrs. Janet Adler asked about the driveway. He wanted to know if it was going to remain circular. And Mr. Jed Frankel asked to see the front portion of the landscaping, which is not actually part of this application or approval. However, out of respect, we did the whole front section, not just that little portion in the front, including the trees that will be left there. So what you see in the renderings is actually a good depiction of what it's going to look like. It was hard to find all the plants and stuff like that for the renderer, but luckily he's a good renderer. He was able to find basically everything that's going to go into the front landscaping portion over there, which again is not being approved tonight, but I just wanted to, out of respect, show you guys what's being done over there.
Thank you.
Where's the polycarbonate?
It's going to be right in the middle section.
So it's basically a
right in the middle
alternate
section.
glass is essentially what
It's
it is.
alternate glass, that's correct.
Because it's clear.
Safer, it's stronger, yeah.
And it's got a pattern, you said, like a CNC. Like, where do I see that?
So,
Which image?
that's a good question. So maybe I went a little bit too quick. My apologies. I'm just trying to, I know that you guys have other things to do here tonight. So just to clarify, there's two different aspects over here. Well, three different aspects. Number one was the lighting, which we removed. We put in-ground uplighting. That's number one. Number two, we put in the middle section where you have the steel beams that tie in the awning from left to right. In that section, there's going to be above it, there's going to be polycarbonate, which is going to be basically giving, together with that and the awning together with that comes through. Not sure if I can find the picture here, but I'm sure you guys can see over there on your things.
Entry rain cover.
It's an entry rain cover. Provides about 7.5 feet wide all the way till the front door.
Is it colored or clear?
It's clear.
Okay, so it's for my colleagues here, it's essentially a glass panel, not made of material glass, but you can imagine like a glass panel up there. It's
Very
made of
similar to glass.
polycarbonate.
Very similar to glass, except stronger.
Right. Okay. And then there's also added polycarbonate on either side?
So, okay, that's what the third section is, which I was just going to get to. The third section is actually on the sides. There's aluminum, which you can see. I don't know if you guys want to see. Let me show you this, what it looks like, just so you guys can have a better idea.
A506.
Here, Victoria, just give this up, please. My wife, Victoria. This is going to be the, it's a day view of the awning. It just gives you basically a little bit close up so you get a better idea of what's going on in that section, because in the other pictures you can't really see it so well. It's just, it's a nice gradual design that's made out of aluminum, and it ties into the windows and the doors over there, the color I'm saying. I know one of you guys mentioned last time to maybe put some wood, but my wife doesn't like wood, so can't go against the wife.
Right.
So we decided to do that. However,
she likes it if you're maintaining it.
Exactly. So in the middle, I would think that the lighting that we removed, which is all the lighting we had there, that we put the in-ground uplighting, and together with the middle section, I would think that's going to be enough. But just to go a little bit over and beyond, I provided this to just show you to see if you liked it, if you thought it was necessary. If you don't think it's necessary, I'm happy to remove that as well.
What do you think? What do you want?
I'm okay with doing it without it. If you guys, I'm just here to provide you guys the options because I want you guys to be happy.
No, I understand, but it's also your house, you know, like,
I appreciate that.
yeah, I mean, you should, we're here to help guide, but if it's something you feel strongly one way or the other, you should tell us, because we don't want you to, it's not like we need something to take away from this meeting, you know, like some gimme or something like that. It should be, I feel strongly about this, or, but maybe you don't. Maybe you could go either way. That's fine too. But I didn't want you to feel like you had to give something to this board to make us happy. At the end of the day, you should be happy. It's your home, you know.
I really appreciate those comments, and it's very nice to see that I have amazing neighbors. But if you guys are okay without it, then let's approve it without it. If you guys want it there, I'm happy to put it there for the community.
To go without it.
Okay, what do you guys think? What's...
So without the aluminum,
It's made out of aluminum. It's made out of aluminum and it's powder coated.
You're talking about this guy?
Yeah, which I just gave you that picture just to give you a little bit better depiction of what's there.
That's there now?
No, that's not there. What I'm saying, what we're showing, what that's being proposed, yeah. What's there right now is, I could show you a picture of what's there now if you guys like as well. I have a picture of it. I took today and I printed it out because I knew that you guys might want to see what's there.
Could I take you to pages 801 and 802?
Sure.
And could you walk me through?
How do you go down here? 801.
And 802.
There we go. Okay.
Looking at the existing, what is existing?
That was there. This is from over a year ago. This is what was there.
But is it still there?
No,
It's not like this anymore.
Pages 801 and 802 are gone,
Well, they're not really gone. They're part of the original package.
but they've been redone.
They've sort of been redone. I mean, like, for example, if you look at 801, you see the pool over there, which is not there anymore. There's a different pool there. The building is still there, but the pool is not. What else? If you look at the top picture looks very similar to what it is now. The right picture looks very similar to what it is now. In the front, the bottom, which is the facade, looks different because we totally redid the facade. That's what it's gonna look like. Which, just to clarify, we already started building it. The facade is already there. The facade is fully done. The only thing that has not been done is the stucco on the facade. That's the only thing that has not been done. But everything else has been done on the facade. The facade is finished. Because, look, because it was approved originally, and I don't want to look like a bad guy here saying like as if we did something that wasn't approved. It was approved. However, like we said, I agree that it should have went through the design review board. It slipped through the cracks somehow, whichever way it did, and I built it, and then somebody made a complaint or something, and now we're here in front of you guys trying to get what was approved, trying to fix what was already approved and trying to make it right. Which is why we removed the lighting, which we were going to do. Like we were already on the way to do that. We already had the infrastructure lighting there, all for all the windows and everything. I guess it's a good thing that we got stopped in the middle because now we removed it for you guys. But now and then now we got the rain cover over there with the thing, which is also I think an amazing thing. I appreciate the advice on that. So I think we're in a position right now, and you have like. Unlike the last guy, you have renderings of everything right now. And you have specific even renderings of the full landscaping, and you have the medjool trees in the front, which I see is a very big pattern on the island. A lot of people have those two medjool trees, the palm trees in the front. And then you have like a little bit landscaping in the front, like I'm talking about within that circular driveway. It's a very common theme that I see on the island. A lot of people have it.
It's code.
It's code, really?
Palm tree in the front is code.
Those two trees are code? Oh, I didn't know that. Because I actually asked the landscape architect to put it in because I thought it was beautiful.
I've always found something interesting about this design. It's like neo Art Deco, which is a new, interesting style. And then the light, removing the lighting, I think, made the world of difference. It's much more subtle. you know, the proportion of the facade was really nice, the relationship to the window, to the more decorative elements of the facade. And I think the lighting was always distracting for me. So I think this is a huge step in the right direction. As to the perforated metal mesh, I mean, I kind of like it. I mean, there's something Mediterranean, almost like Moroccan about this that feels like it ties into like the Mediterranean stuff you see around here in a new reinterpreted way. So I would be happy to support it, but I asked if you wanted it because I wanted to know what you wanted. But for me, the switch from those linear lights made a huge difference. I don't remember all of my comments last time, but I remember that being a big one.
I have them written down.
That was my major. Okay, good.
I
I'm
actually
glad
have
I'm
them written
consistent.
down.
Okay.
I went through every single person's comments and I wrote them down.
No, and I appreciate you doing that too, because I think that goes a long way with this board to know that people are receptive to our comments. And honestly, it makes for a better community, you know, like.
Of course.
I think it sounds like you're happier with what you have here, and I think
I
it'll be
like it.
better for the street.
I like it. I like it.
Don't you like this?
I think it's stunning.
Stunning.
I think it's stunning. It really is something that's gonna.
The LEDs that were climbing up the post.
Listen, I like the LEDs as well, but you know, we're from New York. We like everything busy.
Well, I'm from New York too, and I think this is stunning.
I like that. I appreciate it. Thank you for the beautiful comment. But if it's okay with you guys, maybe you guys can go like one by one and tell me what you think about the side, the aluminum. Alexander?
I think aluminum, I like it, but I think you could go either way. I think already creating a cover for the entrance already actually makes, that aspect actually seem like there was a purpose for it. That
Right.
before what seemed odd was that there wasn't a purpose.
Okay.
So I think that looks really good. So I think if it was Wesley, you can go whichever way you want them to perforated. In my opinion, I do want to thank you for taking all the comments because I think it's a huge improvement. I really like the house without the LEDs and the uplight instead. My only comment, and I'm in favor of this house regardless of
Thank you.
which way you go, is the only thing that looks odd to me is that tree that you put in between the two palm trees.
In the middle.
I don't know if it's already there.
It's not. It's not. This is just
That's the
all.
only thing that looks a bit odd to me. But
True. Yeah.
You don't like it?
I don't like it. I think it just.
I'm happy
Like
to
it's
remove
weird.
it if you guys don't like it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it looks weird to see a palm tree right by the entrance of a
It's
house.
quite interesting that you said that because the landscape architect put it in, and then my designer told me to take it out, and I said, listen, if the landscape architect put it in, it should be there.
Chris, close your ears. You always listen to the architect, not the landscape architect.
But either way, my comment. I'm good with the house how it is. I think I'll leave it up to you on the tree and the meadow.
No, I'm happy to take it out. That tree really wasn't doing anything for me. It might be actually taking away from the beauty of the medjool trees as well. So I'm okay with taking that out.
Jen?
No.
Yeah, going back to the last hearing, a comment that Wesley made, I think, for me, I would really like to hear from the designer and understand how you went from what we see in A801, before anything, to what's being presented now. I mean, the entranceway has been moved, you've got fake windows. I'd like to understand how those work in relation with the real windows.
Sure.
And just the overall, concept here.
These are good questions. Let me explain it to you. So, in regards to the fake windows are actually just mimicking the windows on the right side, just to create some symmetry. So that's regarding the windows. They're actual windows. They are windows. They're the same windows that are going in on the right side. They are the same. There was different ways to create this, by the way. There was ways to make it just fake windows and to make like an illusion of a window, just to put a glass there. We actually purchased the same windows that are on the right side and we put them on the left side. I mean, it costs a little bit more, but it's done the right way. That's number one. So that's regarding the windows. That's to create the symmetry. Number two, in order to, you were asking about the facade, how we recreated the facade. The facade, is not as recreated as you would think. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of it comes from the fake windows. It gives a little bit from the right side. But in the middle, if you guys want to see, you can see I took a picture today, and you can see the existing conditions, and you can see that the walls are all there. We didn't, we didn't touch any of the, we didn't touch any of the,
Facade wall.
any of these facade walls. Let me just show you this so that you guys can. This was a picture taken this morning, or I should say this afternoon, a few hours ago. But the point of the picture is, to answer your question, is it shows, like, you can see the old brick that's there, and everything is there. There's nothing. We didn't we barely touched anything on the actual walls. We just moved. I think it's. To be honest with you, I think the way we created the design was almost a little brilliant.
So when we say fake windows, you have actual windows with the structure behind it?
Yep.
So there's a wall behind it. It's just there for symmetry purposes.
So
That's it.
It's
an actual window. It's the same window that was there on the right side. We bought the same windows for the left side. It's the same exact window.
And the panels are tinted, or
They're mirrored.
the what?
They're have a little bit mirrored. They come factory like that.
So you're not gonna be able to see through.
You can't see through, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to stop by one day, you can come in. I don't mind.
I was there on Sunday actually. I go there a lot.
So the right side is actual and the left side is a facade.
So the right side those are actual windows, meaning that
The left side is a facade.
the left side is just like to create a symmetry between the right side and the left side. Fake. Correct.
You living in this mess?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Hopefully soon.
We need to go and get COO.
Not yet. Nobody's living there yet. We've been kind of with this whole process, which I think is something that needs to be changed in this town. Very much so, is that if there's any open violations or any open stop work orders, you can't get anything else done, which I think is simply ridiculous. Somebody needs to change this, because we got this in March of last year, which is we're almost a year out, and I basically have a finished house that has no electricity, no plumbing, and I can't get anything approved or reviewed because of this. I think it's just ludicrous. It just doesn't make sense. Somebody needs to change this. It is what it is. It's just when I talk about it, I get very frustrated because this house should have been done 8 months ago, and it was done 8 months ago.
Well, on the design, I mean, I think it's an improvement in terms of that laser cut panel. I think it's nice how it encloses space. It makes that decorative thing. It brings it beyond just being decorative, and it creates this entry foyer space, even though it's outdoor. That said, it works without it. Sometimes less is more. So,
okay.
I mean, I'm happy to support this application with the condition that you remove the tree in the center. And I don't know if there's a way that we can build in the option for you to either do it or not do it, because I think it wouldn't change my vote.
We could, just for purposes of this conversation today, we could remove it and we could just approve it as it removed. I'm saying the center tree as well as the side aluminum, if you guys are all okay with that.
But did you submit a landscaping plan?
We did. But it was in the last one. In the last one, you guys had the full landscaping plans.
Before you complete the motion, I want to make in the record all the renderings we have here and Michael's Miller report into evidence.
Are you gonna, when you do your decision, will you put that in as part of your motion?
Well,
to
it
get
sounds like
that option?
we're not going to do a metal
Okay.
thing, so we're just going to keep it easy for you.
Okay.
Are
Basically,
we able to leave it as an option in case they decide in the future that they don't approve anything?
It's whatever you
Just leave it
approve,
as an
just gives
option?
direction to staff on how to proceed.
Okay. So a motion to approve with the conditions in Michael Miller's report and the option to add the perforated metal element as depicted in these images. Right, so the option is you can do it, but you have to do it like this.
Okay.
So if you stray away from this, it's got to come back. But if you do it, it's like this.
So just to be clear, it's an option, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, appreciate it.
I'm removing the tree.
And they're removing the tree. Thank you in the middle.
The middle tree, which is perfectly fine. One tree.
Just the one in the
The
middle.
one in the middle. The one tree in the middle. That's fine.
Any second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate your time and your help.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Item number 8, request for approval for a new single-family home for 1311 100 LLC located at 1311 100 Street, lot 13 of Block 26. The owner is proposing to construct a new two-story single-family home on a vacant lot. The proposed new two-story, 6,321 square feet under AC home will have 7 bedrooms, 7 bath, 1 half bath. The new home's architectural style can be described as neo modern with exterior stone, metal, other cladding and finishes. Enclosed, please find the site plan and elevation. How are you?
Hi. Hi, good evening. Stephanie Halfen from SDH Studio. Hi. I'll try to talk as fast as he does, but I don't think I'm capable, but you know. All right, so we're presenting, so basically this is a single family home, and I just noticed when I started looking again that I missed, I'm sorry, the steps that go from the front entrance to the street. So we'll add that for sure. You can add that in your comments. I'm sorry about that. We do have it in the next project, but we don't have it in this. Okay, so here you can see the location of the house and the surrounding homes around it. It's next to, the houses that are next to it are all single story. Here you can see the rendering basically next to the houses. To the left, we have really a very, very large vegetation. To the right, there's the single story. We created, as we try to do in a lot of our projects, we created the elements of balconies and eaves in order to try to bring the scale of the house down and talk to the neighboring homes and structures. You can also see there in the bottom the bird's eye view from the different angles of the house. Here we have the 2 elevations, the front and the back, and we actually brought the samples as well of the materials. So we have the bronze aluminum for the frames. We have the wood cladding. Of course, the glass that has to have all the energy codes and everything. And we have the stone for the facade as well. In the back, it's a very clean design. The clients wanted something that was clean, that was easy to build, and at the same time, very, I would say, warm, with a warm palette. In the back, we have big overhangs that protect the area from shade the area. We have a large trellis in the back. They plan to use it also, like to use it for a sukkah in certain Jewish festivities. We have all the calculations and different diagrams. And then let me guide you a little bit through the floor plan. So again, it's a very clean design. We walk in and we have the 1 bedroom to the right. We have 1 study to the left. We continue to go in and we have an additional bedroom. Large integrated open space for the kitchen, living room, dining room, and family room that open up all the way to the backyard. In this case, we did an L-shaped pool in order to maximize the views of water and increase the backyard space and the views of green and water, bring it into the home. And upstairs, we have the master bedroom and 4 additional bedrooms for kids and family. In this particular, we have, of course, all the side elevations and everything, and we're happy to answer any questions that you might have in regards to the project.
I have one question.
Sure.
When I was looking at this earlier,
Yeah.
I noticed that to the east, I believe it's to the east of the property.
Okay.
There's some beautiful old bushes.
Yeah.
Trees, they're really on the property. And I'm wondering, because in your renderings, one of your renderings has some of them either trimmed or cut. They look like they belong to the other property, the east.
Okay, so the renderings don't necessarily match exactly the vegetation that is there. The landscape plans show exactly what we're doing, but it's hard to match exactly the renderings. So if you see this, are you referring to the trees to the left?
Yeah,
No, all that remains.
it's gonna remain.
Yes, I mean,
I did hear you say that.
yeah. I mean, of course, if there's anything that it's going into the property, they might trim it a little bit in order not to, but we're not removing any of that vegetation.
And if you go back to that
You see,
A03,
one second. Yeah, I believe that's in the neighbor's house, by the way.
That's not, yes. that's-
Yeah, of
that's
course,
on
we
the
cannot,
east
of
property.
course, yeah, we
That's why
cannot,
I was wondering, because your property is empty of vegetation, except for in other renderings, you see these bushes.
we're not touching anything from the neighbor, don't worry. I mean, just to trim it a little bit if it actually goes too much inside, but that's it.
and if you go to A003, that elevation that doesn't really match the other. So which one is the final? Is it the one on the front cover? Is it this one? Is it somewhere?
So the only real difference there is the vegetation.
Like if you look at this picture, for example,
Yes?
if you look at the window, for example, above the garage, and you see like the top of that window, that's different from the main cover. Like there. So it's just so we understand, is this part, or which one is the latest, or the ones we should be looking at? Because it doesn't match like the first
The color.
elevation. Like there's a few areas where it doesn't match one.
I'm trying to see that, sorry, I'm trying to spot the difference. I'm trying to see what difference you
Like for
see.
example, like if you see that vertical window on top of the garage on the second floor,
Yes?
at the top you have like black framing and then like a white connection there,
Ah, okay, hold on.
and then
Okay.
you have a solid.
Nah, I understand now. Okay, sorry. So basically, in this case, it's not white. It's just that you're seeing the parapet behind it. In this particular rendering, you're seeing the parapet behind it. That's why you see that white, but it's aluminum. It's aluminum that comes across. Let me see the full. If we actually see the elevation, so it's like in the first rendering where it's all the way up the aluminum frame.
Okay, and if you look at like the window in the bottom right, I don't know if it's printing, but I'm reading like different colors, materials.
In the bottom right.
Like I'm trying to compare.
Sometimes the lighting in the renderings, it's hard to match exactly if we did some lighting, but it's the same materials in both renderings.
Maybe the same materials, but it's not the same color, and the steps are different. In the front page cover, the steps are different than they are on 003.
So we have, let me see the other one second. Okay, so this is, okay, I see what you're
I don't know
saying.
if they're different or it's a different version, but
I see what you're seeing. So what just to make sure, give me 1 second and I'm sorry about that. It's one that when we re-rendered, maybe
like the column on the top right is much wider there than on the main.
Yes, so,
I think it's the one
yes,
on the
I
cover
see.
because
It's, okay, so the
But
elevations.
just so we know which one should
These are the elevations that you should be looking at.
Right.
The other one has a slight difference.
Yeah.
It's this one that you should be looking
Which
at.
one is the correct
This one that I'm just showing up right here.
one? 003?
No.
Or the cover?
This one is the same as the cover. The only one that's different is the 003 that has slight differences.
So
But
there's
this,
only two windows above on the second floor, there's only two windows on 003.
that one is not the accurate one, is this one? Yeah, correct. It's the cover and this one as well, which is A100.1.
Okay.
The cover and this one are the same. It's just A003 that has a slight difference.
Perfect. No, so
Okay,
that threw me off, but
Sorry, yeah, I'm sorry about that, yeah.
On don't want to beat a dead horse, but A003, it looks like they have lighting on the top,
LED. Yeah.
underneath the roof, some kind of.
Don't look at 8003.
At all.
Don't
Okay.
look at it at all. It's
gonna make a big
confusing, I'm
X.
sorry, yeah.
House is that?
I'm sorry, it's this one, A100.1. It's this one, this one. This one are the ones that match identical to the elevations in the plans. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah, well, this has three windows too. Yeah, well, there you go. Okay. Okay.
And it's basically the materials, the garage frame is stucco, and then there's the coral stone,
Mhm.
and then the bronze and the wood. Yeah,
Correct, yeah.
nice.
And they wanted something very clean. They wanted
Yeah.
something very,
There is, I mean, from the outside, I love it. There is one thing that I would love to see, but it doesn't affect the outside, which is in the middle where the stair is. Seems like a great opportunity for a skylight, but I know those are costly and it's not going to change what we perceive about the house, but it would be great to
Love-
bring light centrally in the house.
I would love to
Just
bring
one thing
light
to-
too. I'll suggest it to the owner and
Yeah,
let's see
see
if
what
they
they say.
agree. But I like that. Sometimes it's hard, and they're not only the cost, they're always concerned about
Leak
the,
and-
yeah,
yeah.
which they leak. They
Yeah.
truly do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's nice. I really like the buttonwoods along the pool there. I think that's a nice touch.
Thank you.
Yeah. There's roof planters too, or no? I mean,
No.
second terrace? No.
No, no.
Wow. I agree. I really like the house. I
Thank
think it looks really nice.
Thank you.
Jed or Janet?
Thank you. You're consistent. I like that.
Motion to approve with the conditions noted in Michael Miller's report, and that there will be a walkway that connects to the
Yes,
street.
yes, yes.
And that the true renderings are the ones on the page that you mentioned.
Correct, correct. A100.1.
Any second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Item number 9, last item of the night. Request for approval for a new single-family home for Susan Wolaski, TRS, and Jerry L. Wolaski, TRS, located at 1260 100th Street, Lot 5, Block 27. The owners are proposing to construct a new two-story single-family home. The existing single-story home, built in 1956, will be demolished and replaced with a new two-story,
Thank you.
6,124 square foot home. The residence will have 6 bedrooms, 7 baths, and 2 half baths. Enclosed, please find the site plan and elevation.
Okay. So this particular client, let me bring it.
We need it.
Oh, sorry.
Name it.
Stephanie Halfen from SDH Studio. I'm the architect of the project. And this particular client wanted something more tropical, warmer. They wanted to bring a lot of vegetation into the design, which we love. We used also the elements. We were able to incorporate louvers, which again are great. And they bring a lot of texture and they bring a lot of warmth to the design. In this particular case, we only have a one-car garage. Here we do have that walkway connecting. I have to say, I remember you guys every time in Halloween. All Halloween, I remember this board every time I see that walkway going to the house. We have, and also I like it, and I like that you reinforce the fact that there's a lot of green space in the front setback, which is also very nice. So again, we're meeting all the different codes. And going into in this particular case, they have a front gate with a front, gate with a car gate and pedestrian gate as well. And I'll pull it up over here so you can see it. Chris is here, who did the landscape design, if you have any questions for him as well. And going into the floor plans, also, we treated the backyard a little bit differently. They wanted a rectangular pool, so again, we incorporated that into the design in order to capture the views. The breakfast area almost like sits on top of the pool, which creates a very nice effect. And also it's surrounded by green, so it's surrounded by that green planter and the water. And in regards to the floor plans, in this case, they have it's the amount of bedrooms. It's a little bit similar. They have 2 bedrooms downstairs. We have a family room and again an open area with integrated living room, dining room, kitchen. They have a big family. They try to they're thinking of hosting in certain events. So the idea to have a very long dining table was important. And upstairs we have the master bedroom and 3 bedrooms, 3 kids' bedrooms as well.
My comment here, which now looking at the previous presentation, that I appreciate that it's very different than the other one, and I think sometimes a challenge being the architect and the builder, sometimes you have a budget and you have restrictions that you have to design house that they tend to have maybe the SDH stamp or they look similar, but this looks like a different house to what we're used to, and it's nice to see something modern and tropical and different. So I appreciate that on this design.
This design is really nice. I try to incorporate as much as possible, again, the louvers, the wood, the stone, and the warmth to create a nicer, warmer palette. And it is hard. You have the same lot, the same configuration. People want the same layout.
Same program,
it's so hard. Like, okay, so thank God they have different tastes and they have also different budgets, so you can play with that. But yeah.
And this one does have planters? I see.
Yeah, this one has planters on the second floor.
Which helps too.
It does, yeah. Some people try to stay away from the maintenance, but there's Renee and Chris did an amazing job choosing the plants that are that will do well and require little maintenance.
The right irrigation.
Irrigation, yeah. But we still have irrigation and drainage for them.
The wood cladding, where exactly is that on the front?
So if you see over here, here to the left, so here. So it's over here and over here.
Okay, it is in that middle. Yeah, I couldn't.
Yeah.
It's very,
The
it's very
contrast,
thin.
yeah, you're right. It's a bit dark, but the contrast, yeah.
And your gate is what? Gate?
It's aluminum. It's aluminum, yeah.
And the louvers would be wood or aluminum?
Aluminum, yeah. It would also be aluminum. I actually have the sample over here. Something similar to this. So that way they don't require maintenance. They stay with the shade and the tone.
Alrighty. I like it.
Thank you.
Any questions, comments, motions?
Motion to approve, subject to Michael Miller's comments and
Conditions.
conditions, sorry.
Any second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Last item of the night, approval of the minutes held. Before we approve, we have a public speaker, 1060 Casey, for item number 10.
Have a good night. Thank you very
Aye.
much.
Congratulations.
Okay.
My name is Frances Newhut. I'm at 1060 King Concourse. Concerning the minutes, I noticed that on all of the, like on June 6th, the DRB wanted to review compliance with approved plans, and they mentioned the parking, the breezeways, and 80% rules. Again, on May 2nd, they mentioned lot sizes, the property appraisals records. These are things that I really appreciate with your committee, with the Design Review Board. And that's because you come with all these plans, and if you see anything negative or they're encroaching on other people's properties, they might not follow it afterwards, you know. But when we come to these meetings, I really enjoy hearing from you and not the council, because you're experts, you're professionals, and you can explain things better than them. What disturbs me is that on January 10th, there was a council meeting, and on item number 8, they want to get rid of the planning and zoning board, and they want to exempt them or require public meeting or public hearings for the town hall, or, well, that's really town projects, like the town hall and the Broad Causeway Bridge. And I think these are the most important things, since we have such a critical parking shortage here. And, okay, so we have the Broad Causeway Bridge. So at the last meeting, they decided that with the bridge, they're talking about eliminating, getting a new bridge. They're considering now that from the engineer that this bridge can last 27 to 45 years. And that's with, for I don't know how many years we've been suffering with not being able to go over the bridge walking, where they're pushing for us to walk more and less cars. You can't get over there. So we have that problem. I really, and now we have, and there's a meeting tonight, and that's with the Bell Harbor shops. They're putting 4 new tremendous towers over their complex, and they're over 275 feet. And I mean, I drive, you can't move at certain times over from the causeway to Collins. You can't do anything. And I really think that you have to be involved with how this is being designed. I really think that bridge should come back. I think that you should be very important and be able to speak on this matter, because this is crazy. We're not going to have anything anymore in this town. Maybe they'll put the bridge over Bay Harbor, because we can't get out of our place.
It is interesting that they're exempting us from the town hall, or is that like, because are we doing a new town hall?
Yes.
We are. And do those designs come in front of this board?
No, what they're considering is process and which committee to send things to. Like, for instance, the dog park went through 3 public meetings with the Parks and Rec Committee, plus multiple meetings with the town council. So it's depending on the project. And with regards to the bridge, there's many public meetings, and it's done by FDOT standards. And also the bridge that she's referring to, a lot of that's underground. It's by the water. You're taking care of corrosion. So it was more that they wanted the option to direct it and how they would proceed with different projects.
Because I remember the dog parks came in front of us.
Yes, we did. And if you're at that point, it was already like literally 6 or 7 meetings before it got to you, because we did all the public meetings. We went before the Parks and Rec, 'cause that's who controls a lot of the parks.
Right.
And provides their insight. So that's kind of what triggered it.
But I agree with Wesley. I think anything that's built in the town should come in front. Even the dog park project, we had good comments on making sure it was fenced and.
The bridge might be different, because if it's about restoration and engineering, no. But I mean, if it's a new designed structure, I feel like.
Then you need to let the council know your views as a resident. But that's on second reading at the next council meeting. It wasn't specific to any particular project, but yes, the bridges were mentioned, but Bridges are a much more complicated
Yeah.
project, and so much of it is underground that you don't see.
Right, and they're not aesthetically changing the bridge, right? It's more about restoration, or they are aesthetically?
Well, the project she's referring to, about the 27 years, that's to resolve the corrosion issues underneath the West Relief Bridge and doing some compliance that FDOT is requiring. The question is whether or not if you rebuild it, and then that's a different story, or you just do the required work that FDOT is requiring, or you do the extensive underground corrosion work that would extend the life of the bridge for 45 years. So much of that's very technical, and a lot of it is underground.
Yeah.
And the question is, when you're really changing it, that would be if you're going to be like widening it, you're basically demolishing the entire bridge.
Right, and rebuilding a bridge.
Right, then
it
that's a
should go.
totally different story.
Wouldn't that come under the auspices, a lot of it, of the Coast Guard?
Yes, I mean, there's so much review. It's not even funded by federal and state and county regulatory agencies. These projects get thoroughly vetted, and it's required. If you remember, we had several public meetings just to get through the first PD&E phase. I mean, there's so many meetings that are required by law that we have to do.
Okay, can I just ask, okay, so I've been around the block a few times here, and when Mr. Watson was the town manager, we had everything set up. We had funding and everything for this bridge, but the most important thing was to have access to the land on the other side for parks or whatever we needed. And it's very dangerous. These are not ADA-approved passageways. And it's not only that bridge, but they already brought to the attention that the bridges going over to Bell Harbor and to Collins and everything, those are dangerous also. Those are not ADA-approved either. And you see the bicycles and the kids running us over while we walk across the bridge. I mean, these are serious problems that they have delayed since we were supposed to have this new bridge built 10 years ago. We even had Mrs. Margot, the senator, giving us funding and approving it. And now they're coming back and telling us, you can wait another 27 years. How long are we supposed to wait? And every time the traffic is so horrendous, even today, I get a call at 8 o'clock in the morning that they're fixing the bridge.
Thank
I
you.
mean, this is
We are on time.
okay, thank you. But I really think you need to put some input in this. You're our community, and you're our professionals. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I ask just one question? It may be adequate, but there's a new law legislature passed, some kind of a height law, live or live something.
Live local.
Live local.
Explain that law to me.
We're trying to figure it out ourselves and how it applies to the
Figured out
town.
When I read it, I figured that the people here would probably know
Yes.
the answer, which I think might actually give the current answer no less.
Okay, as briefly as I can, there's an effort by the state of Florida, there's lots of people wanting to move to Florida continuously. There's a feeling that there's a combination of the number of opportunities for people to buy in general and then the affordability of housing. So there's been a number of subcommittees at the state level, looking at this for years, and some agencies, Department of Economic Opportunity and so forth. So last year, the legislature adopted what's called the Live Local Act. And it's a little scary for local governments like ours particularly, and even Bell Harbor, which I'm also the planner there. It basically what it says is that you can, and some of this is because the nature of commercial property is changing also. The old malls of the world, office buildings, people working remotely. So there's a lot of, talk about reusing real estate now,
Adaptive reuse.
particularly these suburban malls, that were predominated with a lot of, cars and things. So in essence, it preempts local zoning law to a great degree. And just to give you an example, what it says is if you're allowed to build, the current law says you're allowed to build multifamily housing, provided you have a certain percentage of quote unquote affordable housing. And that can be placed not in a residential area, but on a commercial piece of land. or in an industrial area. No, we don't have industrial in this area of the county. So, and then it says that within your jurisdiction, within 1 mile of the property that's being looked at, you can choose to build to the maximum height that's allowed in your community and the maximum density. So for us, I mean, I've looked at this, and how it would potentially impact us. So we are, the highest height we allow right now is 75 feet. We do have older buildings, some of them that are taller than that. And that's in the charter and in the code. We also have density limits for every land use category, commercial, the tips of the islands, and so forth. So we're very tight. So if somebody came to us, and I've had phone calls that, what can I do? So because they think they can go 500 feet in the air or something. And so that's a quick conversation. Now, across the waterway, they're freaking out, and I'm working on the project.
You're saying in Bell Harbor?
Yes, sir. So the mall, there's only two pieces of commercial property in that city. One is the little bank building, which the village now owns, the old SunTrust building, and the mall. So, we just approved an expansion to the mall over there, and there was a recorded developer agreement. It's a contract between the property owner and the city. There was a lot of quid pro quo and so forth, but there was a contract to build a certain project. So they just submitted last week plans under this Live Local Act. And of course, right across the street is the oceanfront high rises. So they're saying, oh, I could build to 275 feet in the air, which is the maximum height in that city. And although the density is 55 units an acre on the beach compared to over 100 in Surfside and other cities, every city is different. So the plans that we received are multiple high-rise buildings. The Saks goes away. Neiman Marcus goes away. There was supposed to be another major at the West End where they're building the new parking garage. That's where they want to put the quote-unquote affordable housing tower, 19 stories. And then along Collins, it's basically a wall of multifamily, 20 stories. And then where Saks is, they're talking about a hotel of some sort.
And the ordinance basically says that the local design review board of Bal Harbour can't prohibit them from doing that.
Yes, the state law, again, preempts. It mandates that there is no public hearing before a planning and zoning board and a local government body, a city commission, council, whatever. It says that it must be approved administratively. There are timeframes to do that for a completeness review. And so there's, I belong to the Planners Association in the state and each county, so there's a lot of chitter chatter between the professionals, talking about each city's situation is different, Dania Beach or Fort Lauderdale or whatever, So yeah, it's a little alarming. And then there's a glitch bill, they're calling it a glitch bill this year that's been filed for this session, which makes some changes. And what, I don't know if I should, disclose things because of the League of Cities are working on things on one side, but there's, right now the density says the density is you can max out at the highest that's allowed within your city. They want to pull the 1 mile back to a quarter mile, but now they want to include FAR, which is not a density issue, it's a bulk issue. That's bad. That's really bad. The bulk of the building, like setbacks, it says whatever your maximum floor area ratio, you take an acre of land, you figure out it's 43,560 square feet. If you have a FAR of 1, you can build 43,560 square feet. 2, 3, you just do the math. So the mall is 1.2 FAR.
Wow.
The ocean is 2.80. So large buildings.
Is what they proposed based on the 2.0?
Yes, which is not proper. It doesn't meet the current state law. It meets the proposed, and they're threatening already. The Bal Harbour is adamantly opposed to this project.
Oh, there'll be lawsuits and all, I'm sure, with the state. Yeah.
Bal Harbour, let alone everybody around
But it sounds like this town, because our height limits are 75 feet, that's it. We're okay.
Nope.
No?
Nope. That helps in terms of not having something massively tall.
Oh, but you're saying the FAR issue, it doesn't help. Yeah, yeah.
And other stuff. It's just, it overrides local zoning laws. Live local is intended to foster more affordable housing,
Right. It's to
which
speed
is a
up
desperate
housing.
need.
Yeah.
But it's not just about speeding it up. It's to allow things. The theory is that one of the reasons we don't get affordable housing is because of what's called NIMBY.
Yes.
If you know that, not in my backyard,
Backyard.
and stuff gets turned down all the time. And this says, well, we'll solve that. We won't let you turn anything down. And whatever could be built must be built if somebody asks for it. So, you know, the 75-foot height limit protects us some, but everything else we have.
What's our biggest FAR in the island?
See, we don't use FARs. We
Right.
went away from that, and we use what's called performance-based zoning, setbacks,
PDRs and-
the flex things and all those things that we use.
But most of that will be overrun too.
But there's no FAR of it. So if they add FAR, we don't use it.
Right, but whether they do or don't, there's just,
Yeah.
it's a long trend in the state to disregard all rights of local government and to attack local control in every way. And there's been a consistent campaign for the last 10, 12 years to simply eliminate home rule. Even though it's in our Constitution,
Yeah.
they've just ignored it. And this is not maybe it's not the worst. There's a lot of terrible examples of this.
Well, that's why we vote.
And to your point, sir.
Yes,
and
that's
Mrs.
why.
Newhook.
Vote.
Okay, so here comes.
I won't say,
800
not to be
units.
partisan, I won't say which party controls Tallahassee and how bad it is what they're doing. So you have to look that up yourself and see who it is. Just know that what the ones who control it are doing is bad, but you can look up and see who that is.
Right.
No partisan.
So yeah, what do you do with traffic, water, schools?
Tax abatement for those affordable housing units? Is that one of the incentives?
Live local
Not yet.
is intended, but see, because it's mixed use and it allows not affordable housing and all kinds of other things, it's like the affordable housing is like the camel's nose into the tent, and then the whole camel follows.
Well, what do they expect? I'm sure you can't answer this question, but I'll phrase it differently. How much will our school affect any of this? Because
Don't get started about what they're doing to our schools. That's a whole other topic. But the answer to your question is if you live in a rural community that doesn't have anything, if it has a two-story building anywhere, it's unusual. You're just not likely to be as concerned about these issues as if it takes you 30 minutes to drive up the hallway to your own bathroom in the morning.
Wow. Vote, everybody.
Vote.
You have to know what's going on at the state level and then vote, and, you know. Right.
And there's new bills filed all the time, like now you have to put on your website and dictate specifically, like we have very detailed checklists for an application. Cities don't. You have to prescribe exactly, you know, in 10 days you have to do a completeness review. You know, did you submit everything? And then in 30 days you have to provide comments so people can't just drag it out for months and months and a year, you know, type of thing, so.
Crazy. Well, thanks for that.
Yeah, good conversation.
Motion to-
So last approval of the minutes held on June 6, 2023 and September 5, 2023.
Move to approve the minutes.
Any second?
Second.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Thank you.